Hello champions, hello Chessmood family, welcome to the daily lesson with the Grandmaster, and today I have prepared for you a very interesting topic. In the endgames, often we are switching totally to the endgame mode and we are forgetting about tactics, about hidden resources. And it's happening even on the very top level. This game played between two very strong Grandmasters, Bacrot and Etienne, and with black pieces plays Bareev, Evgeny. And here what we will do today during this lesson. I will show you what happened from this position, the next few moves, and you will try to find some tactics there. Most probably you will not, then we will come back and from the second time hopefully you will see what was missed in the game. Ready? Let's go. So now e4 pawn hangs, two pieces are attacking this e4 pawn, white played f3. Logical? Seems yes. Now also white with these two pawns are limiting the bishop on c6 and the knight on f6. Black played bishop c5 check with tempo developing a piece. King f1, king stays closer to the center, rook c8. Rook comes to the game, to the open line, logical, right? Bishop f4, king e7, king stays in the center as well, rook ac1, white brings another rook, knight d7, knight e2, rook h d8, black brings another rook, bishop g3, bishop b6, bishop h4 check, f6, bishop f2, bishop f2, king f2, and then the game finished draw. Can you imagine that here somewhere white missed a winning move and a very strong tactic? Let's go one more time, and this time try to be a little bit more careful. f3, okay? Bishop c5, king f1, rook c8. Whenever you feel there is some tactics, I say, here is the tactic. I will not listen to you, but anyway, say it. Bishop f4, king e7, rook ac1, knight d7, knight e2, rook h d8, bishop g3, bishop b6. Did you miss anything? Okay, so here was the tactic. Instead of bishop g3 move, here white has a very nice tactic, which is really very difficult to find it. We'll speak soon more about it, but before we go ahead, I offer you to pause the video and try to find it, especially if you watched yesterday's video about breaking opponent's pyramids. So here white to move, please pause the video and think. Okay, so there are some tactical resources. The knight on d7 is defending the c5 bishop. But if we take here rook d7, black will not take rook d7, but bishop d7, and now rook c8 defends the bishop. If we had another rook on d1 now, we might take rook c5 and then give up bishop d6 check and win this rook, but we don't have rook on d1. What other resources there are on the board? What if we played here bishop g5 check and try to win an exchange? The knight on d7 is the defender of bishop on c5, so they cannot play knight f6, right? But black can play f6. So is there something here? The answer is yes. There is bishop e6, incredible move. What is happening now? If black takes king e6, it's come b4, very strong move, and the bishop is having problems to go somewhere. If bishop b4, the bishop on c5 was the defender of d4 square, so it's coming knight d4 check. Next move knight c6 and black's rook on d8 and the bishop on b4 going to be hanged, and white is winning material. After bishop e6, king e6, b4, if bishop goes somewhere on this diagonal keeping the d4 square, then it's coming rook d6 check, because the bishop on c5 was defender also of the d6 square. And next move white is going to take the bishop on c6. After bishop e6, black has another option, f e6. But now bishop g5, and there is no more f6 move. If knight f6, then rook d8, and next rook c5. White is pawn up, and after bishop g5, if king e8, then bishop d8. What is happening now? If king d8, then rook c5 because of the pin. And if bishop d8, rook d8, now rook d7 is possible, but b4 is even stronger. And using this pin, white is going to win the piece back, and then they will stay exchange up. Very interestingly enough, this position happened 2 times. One time here Bacrot missed bishop e6, and second time one of the most respected authors by me, Mikhail Morin, also had this position, and he also missed bishop e6 move. And he also, by the way, played bishop g3 with idea bishop f2 to exchange these bishops. Why it's tough to find such tactics? It's all about psychology. Because when we are switching to the endgame, very often we are switching to the totally endgame mode. So we are calming down, okay, no tactics, it's gonna be positional and long game. And this is wrong. In endgames there can be tactics, and there are hundreds of examples like this. I understand it's easy to say than done, because if it was easy, all grandmasters would notice such tactics. It's not easy, but this is a skill. If you can keep your alarms on that even in endgames can be tactics, you will win lots of games just with that skill. Okay, at the end of today's lesson, I have a homework for you. With white plays Wang Yu against Malakhov. Looks like equal endgame, and here is white to move. You can post your answers in the comments section. I'm happy to see them, and again, happy to see you during the next daily lessons. See you soon.